I'm David Weekley. I am the founder of PBWorks, once known as PBWiki.
I'm co-chairman of Deloitte's Center for the Edge, which is a research center based here in Silicon Valley.
My name is Diaine Olsen. I'm CEO and founder of Your Version.
I'm Jerry Michalski, and I call myself a guide to the relationship economy.
I'm Brian Phillips, founder, co-founder, and CEO of Thread.com.
I did give working for a big corporation a shot as my first job out of college. 1,300 employees, very Dilbert-like.
Not enough upside opportunity. You might be able to get a nice salary and learn a lot, but you can't get the big upside you might be able to get participating in equity at a startup.
Because I knew I didn't want to build a career there. And I decided that the company's core product needed to work on OS X. So in my free time, I ported the company's product to OS X, and I got yelled at when I checked in the resulting code.
You own nothing of what you create and what you invent and what you believe. It's all theirs.
That it is no longer sufficient to just focus on protecting existing knowledge stocks.
I think corporations can't afford to keep moving at a slow pace, and I think they got to find ways to pick up the pace of innovation and iteration to be consistent with the startups.
Anything we know today, because of the rapid changes that are going on in our economy, is deteriorating or depreciating in value at an increasing rate.
Most everything today is about flow, 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 with very little memory, very little context, and no do not disturb button.
The key is how do we participate in these knowledge flows that will refresh that at a more rapid rate and allow us to stay at least at the same pace, if not ahead of the rest of the competition.
Have to take risks. Too often a corporation says, oh my gosh, we've got this cash flow we have to protect.
The mythical man month, right? You can't just throw more engineers on a product and get the product developed better and faster.
The greatest asset will remain to be people.
I think people are the most important asset.
Increasingly, it'll be recognized that a company's greatest assets are the mind of its employees, even in organizations that don't think of their employees as knowledge workers.
The things that will have most value for a company is their relationships.
These days, really weird things are happening, and your assets are no longer your assets are your relationships.
And if I just know a few people in a very narrow domain of expertise, I'm going to be much more vulnerable to being blindsided by something that none of us knew because we talk to each other all the time and we just reinforce each other's beliefs.
There's plenty of leadership at big successful companies who don't use Facebook, who don't use Twitter, who don't use IMs.
Creating what I call a reverse mentorship program.
And that means they're often out of touch with their own customers.
Into the company, particularly around the notion of social media and participating in knowledge flows that are extraordinarily valuable to these senior executives.
I think it's fantastic that those worlds are blurring, because until 10 years ago, we asked people coming to work to check their lives at the door and just play their role at work. And that's A, it's impossible, B, it's stupid, C, it doesn't feel human.
I think in this new world, if you really want to trust somebody, you have to know them as a person. And that's not just their professional side, it's about who they are as people. And if you don't have that knowledge, it's going to be very hard to build that trust.
That's why I look at all these defensive innovations from corporations as being really backward and really not serving the long term at all.
I think that an organization of that size doesn't really know how to fully harness people.
My belief is everybody in a company is talent.
You need to have great leadership to motivate those people. You need to have an inspiring mission that motivates those people.
The most important priority regarding talent is developing talent.
What companies need is someone who knows enough about the customers and the users and what they need, knows enough about the technology and what's technically capable, and knows enough about UI design skills. I think you're seeing the bar getting raised on all three dimensions, and it's not just each one in isolation.
Community shepherd.
Product wizard.
Imagineers.
Well, wiki gardener.
And who's responsible in the organization for generating and managing those knowledge flows? And I think something like a chief flow officer or senior executive vice president of ecosystems is a very interesting direction to explore.